Welcome to Secure the Soft Life. I'm Dr. Raykel Tolson. Thank you guys for being here week after week. I'm so excited. Today, I'm sharing why I won't wait for retirement to live well. Okay? So, we're closing out National Wellness Month, and I want to remind you that wellness isn't just about eating right or exercising. True wellness is really about how we live, how we think, how aligned we are with who we are at our core. Okay? So here's a question. Why do so many of us wait until we're 65 to finally live well when tomorrow isn't promised? So I'm going to share my story about my mom who passed away from pancreatic cancer at 65. And 65 is the age of retirement, right? But my mom worked and shared her gifts and was just an awesome person up until that time, right? But if she would have waited till she was 65 to finally live well, she would have missed it. She would have missed it. But my mom didn't do that. My mom took the time to take a break from work to help me raise my son, but she took a break from work to do what she wanted to do. So she didn't wait to live well till she was 65, because if she had, she would have missed her opportunity to take time for herself and do the things that she wanted to do. So when I turned 55, I had to ask myself, if I were going to die at 65, how would I want to spend these last 10 years? Now, I don't expect to die. Okay, I don't expect to die at 65. I'm trying to lose some weight. My body is healthy. That's not it. But I'm just saying, 65 is the age of retirement. For us, some of us is 67 now, right? And then some is 70. But 65 is the typical the age of retirement. But why should we wait till we're 65? Hmm, that's the question, right? Most of us already know that that's not what we want to do. We want to live fully right now because that's how God created us to do. So let's talk about the age 65 for a minute. I gotta bring this up because don't be mad at me when I say this, right? Retirement isn't biblical, y'all. It's not. God never said work yourself to exhaustion and then stop at 65. No, that's not what he said. What he did, he gave us gifts and talents, and he gave us a purpose basically that, and we're called to use those gifts and talents until the very last breath. That's God didn't don't want us to retire. God might like I'm not telling y'all to keep working for them people in their job. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but in our head, we know that retirement from corporation, retirement even from our own businesses, doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. It just means that we're going into a different season and we're using our gifts and our talents, and we're actually probably still doing our same purpose. And some of us probably would just started doing our purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I am not saying don't save for retirement. That's not what I'm saying. Because let me just say, even though we're going to use our gifts and our talents well past 65, we do need to save for retirement. And then that's the S in our soft life, to secure our futures. And that's really what I mean when I say secure our futures. I'm talking about with life, living benefits, life insurance. So if we get sick, we have that. We have health insurance, so we can secure our future. But also our 401ks, our 403bs, our IULs, our annuities, all of those things that we're putting aside, that's so we can have money. So when we are of a certain age, we don't have to go and work, 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 work. We really can take our time, because as we get older, we don't have as much energy. Some of us, I'm not can't speak for everybody because there's some people out there still very energetic, but some of us don't have the same kind of energy. So we're not working as much. So we still may be using our gifts and talents, but we also are taking more rest, right? We have to maybe take a nap. we stop at 4 o'clock so we can go eat. I'm talking about me, y'all. That's me. I love eating dinner at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I've been, as they call it, old for a long time because I think that's the proper time to eat dinner, right? If it's 6 o'clock and I haven't eaten, I'm just like, ooh, I'm hungry. I'm probably hangry by then, right? I am saying that retirement isn't biblical, and God wants us to continue to share our gifts with the world. But we do need to secure our future, and we do need to make sure we have some money, so we don't we don't have to do things we don't want to do at our later stages, right? I actually teach people um, about retirement that they won't outlive. And I guess it's not really just retirement, but it's money that you won't outlive. And so, but I call it designing a retirement you won't outlive. And I share that with people, and I will put a link in the caption so you can learn more about designing a retirement you won't outlive. All right, even though, let's just go back, retirement is not really something that we need to wait until we 65. Now the government won't let you take your money out till you 59 and a half. That's that's really tax you try to take your money out before you 59 and a half. So me, I'm not 59 and a half. I got to do some other stuff. And if you are like me, you going to have to do some other stuff, right? But we have to make sure that we are, setting ourselves up for success for the future. Now, let's talk about wellness. Since it is the last of wellness, the National Wellness Month, I wanted to talk a little bit more about wellness, right? Especially because it goes hand in hand with that, like wait until you're 65 to breathe, to take vacations, to do the things that you love to do. People like, oh, I get to go in my garden more. Don't wait till you're 65 to do that. Don't wait until you're 65 to do any of those things. We have to find the right balance because wellness is more than just our health. It really is an emotional balance, mental peace, spiritual alignment. Knowing who we are really helps with our wellness. And a lot of people are like, well, of course we know who we are. That's not true. That's not true. Some people don't know, not just what their purpose is, but some people aren't really sure about who they are. And I I mean, in my humble opinion, I think that if we could really teach children who they are, who they were created to be, things would be a lot better because I won't be jealous of what the other person is doing when I know what my assignment is. Why am I getting jealous about what you got going on? Makes sense, right? I'm thinking it makes sense. So when we don't know who we are, we live by default. We kind of, and when I say default, usually that we live the way our parents have taught us that we should live, or what teachers have said that we can do or what we can't do. Because so we live by default when we don't know who we are and what our purpose is. We chase roles, expectations, and the world's version of success. One of the things I'm constantly asking people, what is your definitions of success? Like define success for yourself. Here's another question. Like when you do a project, what would make that successful to you? It could be just finishing. Ah, just finishing a project. So because I know you guys already know I'm a writer. So when I finish a book, I'm like, that was very successful that I was able to finish that book. And then if a couple of people read it and they laugh while they're like, oh, this was so good, that book was successful. Now, have I made a lot of money off my books yet? Not yet. Have I made it to the well, I have been a bestseller on Amazon, but the New York bestsellers list, not yet. But am I thinking that I'm not successful because I haven't done that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I know that my purpose is to educate people through my books. So when I finish a book and people can learn something from it and get educated and get encouragement from it, boom, it's been successful. It's already successful. So this is why I think it's very important. And then because when you live by default, oh, so much stress, so much anxiety. Oh, as a pharmacist, I used to answer phone calls. So many people are suffering from anxiety. And what I really wanted to say to them, y'all need to call me on my off time so we can work on your purpose, finding out who you are and what your purpose is, because I can guarantee you most of them would not be that anxious. I like social media. I think it's great. But sometimes we look at the social media, we compare ourselves to how other people are living. Yeah, that comparison thing, stress, anxiety, and even illness, headaches, backaches, diabetes, all that stuff, stress. And it's about not knowing who we are and why we're here. Not just like who we are, whose we are, but why we're here. What is our divine design? And once you know that, things just flow differently. I mean, there's a peace in the clarity of knowing what your divine design is. Um, your stress is going to decrease, your joy is going to increase, and you're going to start making choices that bring you closer to your purpose. I mean, our life is all about our choices, right? Our decisions. So if we can start making better choices, making better decisions, we would live better. We would live well, and we don't need to wait until we're 65 to do it. Okay? All right. So now knowing who you are isn't just about self-help. Okay, I really believe it's a wellness practice. That's why I call it. I'm like a wellness person, right? Um, but I really believe that it's the key to my soft life, and that's the reason why I'm not waiting until I'm 65, because being well, actually living well, is a priority for me. It's something that I take very seriously. That's why I moved closer to the water. So I moved in a neighborhood where I could walk. I moved to a place where I can breathe better because of the ocean air. I mean, my wellness, it means a great deal. I suffer with allergy-induced asthma. And so I just can't live anywhere. I just can't do anything because that asthma kicks up. Oof. And when you can't breathe, it, it's not fun, right? So I just wanted to share with everybody. I'm trying to keep my podcast a little, not so it won't be so long, because I want you to get what you got to get and then come back next week. But I wanted to share something that I'm doing now to help people with their wellness, to help people live well before they turn 65. I know people who are over 65. I can help you too. I can help you too, because remember, God don't have it. God don't believe in retirement, so I can help you too. But I created what's called Soft Life Alignment, right? Blueprints, and I would love to offer you. So I'm going to put the information down so you can get your Soft Life Alignment Blueprint. You can have, sessions with me, or you can just get your alignment and just so you can read your blueprint and you can read it for yourself. And I want to help you uncover your divine design so you can live in alignment with who God created you to be today, not 65. Today. And unless you're 65 already, then at 65. And if you are over 65, yeah, we still want you to live in understand what your divine design is, so you can live in wellness. So I really believe that is the key to wellness. So actually, I'm having a workshop, the Soft Life Alignment Workshop, to discover your purpose on Sunday, September 7th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm doing it this month on the 7th, but if that's not a good time for you, I may do it again later on in the month or maybe next month. It depends on I guess, how people, if people want to for me to do it, I will continue to do it. It is free, but the space is limited. So I'm gonna drop the links in all the descriptions so you can sign up for this free workshop on September 7th, a soft life alignment workshop to discover your purpose. Yes, and you're going to gain clarity. You're going to align with God's plan for your life, and you're going to walk away with a blueprint for living well right now. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I think it's so cool. So I think I told you all last week that I did a GPT called the Soft Life Purpose Finder. And so you can get that GPT, and it's going to be best if you get that, so you can have a little knowledge of your life path and your well, I'm sure most people already know their sun signs, but and then there's going to give you some things so you can bring that to the workshop, and maybe you'll be one of the lucky people who get to share, and we can talk about it through well talk about it at the workshop, because I am going to pick a few people if you're open to sharing who you are and what you do with the rest of the workshop attendees. So, yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's get this. Oh my gosh. When all of us get what we need, right? And we are healthy and we are well, we can go out and be better community family members. We can be better community members. I can just see the world getting better when all of us really know who we are and what we are supposed to give to society. Okay, so as we end, I would like to give you this affirmation for the week. I choose to live well today, not someday. I am securing my future while flowing in my purpose now. I trust God's design for my gifts and I use them fully. Yes, yes, yes. That is what we're on. Let me just read that again. I just want to read it one more time. So if you write it down, I'm going to actually put this in the description because I think this affirmation is so good for the week. I choose to live well today, not someday. I am securing my future while flowing in my purpose now. I trust God's design for my gifts and I use them fully. Yes, we do. Now, as I do every week, I'm going to ask you all, because I don't know if I did this last week, please like and subscribe and then share this episode with somebody. If you thought this was good and it can be helpful, share it with somebody that you know, share it with your kids, because this is something that we can do with our kids. I'm probably going to do something a little bit later for the kids, but this is something that everybody needs. So please share it and please subscribe. Now, God, continue to show us how good life can be. Ashe, and so it is. Until next week, y'all, have a great week, and I hope that you will register for the workshop. Have a good one. Bye-bye.